I'm really in love with you. When I'm looking at pictures of you, I remember moments and my heart feels like new. You've been a big surprise. My soul now feels alive. And now I know the thrill to fall. Now I know the thrill to fall. And now I know the thrill to fall in love.
Hi, friends, and welcome back. This is just another day of my life where I had gone shopping and then realized that I have to quickly make a dinner. So, I have created some very simple recipes, so do keep watching. We had gone to Decathlon Mumbai because my kids had outgrown their swimming costumes. I also had to buy my younger one his swimming diapers, which we really out of. So I bought these floaties for my kids and some diapers for my younger one. After Decathlon, we head up to the Big Bazaar, which was the nearest place to buy groceries. The first thing they saw was Kinder Joy, and I had to shoot this. I don't know why kids these days are obsessed with these things. As you've been knowing, I have been traveling for a lot of time, so I had no groceries into my fridge or any milk or coffee as such. So we had to buy minimum basic stuff that we needed for the day-to-day life. I also get a lot of questions about where do I buy my grocery from, such as the exotic stuff which I use for pastas, pizzas, as well as the Thai dishes that I have shown on my channel. Well, earlier Big Bazaar used to have a section which was a exotic section where you used to find pastas, different international foods, but since COVID I haven't found that section anymore, but I still shop here. Now, if I want to buy those exotic things, I think my next choice would be Heiko Market, which is the Hirandani substitute for grocery store, I think. And the next option would be Nature's Basket. I also buy a lot of things from Amazon, so do keep watching. There are a lot of things which I have shared in this video which I have bought from Amazon and have made my life so easy. And guess that's me. I know I have been rarely coming up to my channel and showing my face, but I think my face is not important than the cooking that I show. So I avoid that as of now. Well, my kids are crazy about strawberries and they picked up a lot of strawberries. So I'm thinking of making a few more strawberry recipes up on my channel. So now is the time to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell icon so that you will be notified when I upload those recipes. You can see my cart was extremely full and there was no place for new stuff. So we had to go to the billing, but yes, I still have to stack it up more. Finally, we were at the billing counter and we billed. Right outside Big Bazaar, there was a McDonald's, so there's no chance we can escape. We had to buy our kids the French fries, the iconic French fries. I don't know why our kids crazy about these French fries, but yes, we bought them, we ate them, but we had to rush home because it was late and this wasn't filling enough. So let's see what I made for dinner. For dinner, I had planned student biryani, student egg biryani, a pudding which is inspired by Parsis, and chicken and cheesy tangri kebabs. To start with, I'm boiling my eggs in the egg boiler. This is also bought from Amazon and it's very cheap. I think I bought this for like 350 rupees. And this boils 7 eggs at a time. It comes with a measurement cup. If you have to hard boil it, you have to fill the cup, half cup water for semi-boiled eggs. You absolutely do not need to time your eggs or keep an eye on the eggs. You just have to wait till the timer goes off, which is the red light is switched off. While my eggs are boiling, I will be making the pudding as it has to be cooled down to eat for dinner. Crack in 3 eggs into a mixer jar. Add 4 slices of bread. Just stir it simply and then add it to the grinder so that it's easily blended together. This is the most simplest pudding that anybody can make. Even the people who do not know how to cook can make this and serve it. Next, I'm going to add 1 cup of milk. You can add room temperature milk or even cold milk which is sitting in your fridge. Add about 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence to cut the egg smell. If you do not have vanilla essence, you can add 3 cardamom pods. The last ingredient to this pudding is sugar. 1 cup of sugar goes in. You can adjust the sweetness of the sugar depending upon your taste. I have added 1 cup, which is a medium sweet at the medium level. And that's it. All you have to do is just blend this. Behind, my egg boiler is also done, so I have switched to the blender and blend this really well. We are going to steam our pudding into the pressure cooker, so pour your pudding mix into the cooker tin or cooker vessel. There's no need to grease the vessel as it comes off easily. Pour some water at the base of your cooker and give a little height with another vessel. Place your pudding mix vessel on top of that other vessel, or if you have a stand you can use that. Just cover it properly and then place the lid of the cooker and lock the steam. You can also make this pudding in the oven with a water bath at 180 degrees Celsius temperature for 20 minutes. Remove the vessel of your cooker and steam it for 20 minutes. Onto my eggs. My eggs are well done. The light on the machine is off, so I'm taking off my eggs, cracking them a little and then placing them in the cold water. This is a great tip. Just crack the egg and then place it into the cold water. The shells come off very easily. Moving on to my next dish, the cheesy chicken tangdi kebab. For this, take 1 spoon of thick yogurt. The measurement is for 6 chicken legs, that is 6 tangdi kebabs. I am going to add 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste. 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste, 1 tablespoon of tandoori masala, 1 tablespoon of Kashmiri lal, and haldi, that goes without saying. All the recipes will be in the description box with their measurements. Add salt to taste. The salt has to be in the proportion of the chicken legs as well. Add about 1 tablespoon of pepper powder, and lastly some mustard oil, which is optional, but yes, if you do add, it gives a very authentic taste. Mix the masalas well and add one by one chicken pieces which I have given cuts to the legs so that the masalas penetrate inside while cooking. If you want, you can also add chaat masala or some raw mango powder, but I have a feeling that it does not go well along with the cheese that I'm going to add. Just cover it and place it into the freezer so that it's marinated well. My next new favorite buy from Amazon is this little blender. It's from the brand Butterfly. I know we have seen a lot of blenders that come with a rubber band or a thread inside which just pull and chop, but I have not find a blender that is so big that it takes about 3 onions and 2 tomatoes. So to make the biryani or the student biryani, I'm going to use this blender. Just chop in 3 or maybe dice 3 large or medium size onions. You can call this as a student biryani or maybe a bachelor's biryani or a simple egg pulao, but this has really simple ingredients and can be made in just 10 to 15 minutes with leftover rice. Back in the days when we did not have kids, me and my husband used to call this biryani as the month end biryani, which is like a saving or maybe a chatpata thing that you can eat on the month ends when you do not have much money to be spent on food. I've also added 3 tomatoes and a few cloves of garlic along with some green chilies and a small piece of ginger. I'm going to grind this up at one go and then cook it at the same time. If you are using a blender like this, I would advise to give it a little shake so that all the things that we have added settle in properly, and then we can use the rubber band or the thread to chop it really well. The easy peasy egg boiler and this chopper, all the links are in the description box. So if you want to buy them, you can directly place an order from the link given below. It's half an hour and more, so I'm going to cook my tangdi kebab so I can serve them first. Since I'm making the cheesy tangdi kebab, I think the cheese would stick to the bottom, and that is the reason why I'm using a foil to be safe and not to indulge myself in cleaning the vessel more than eating the food that I cook. Place all your marinated tangdi kebabs in and Place the temperature to 200 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes and cook your tangri kebabs evenly. My timer for pudding has also buzzed, so I checked onto my cooker and it has been cooked properly. I also gave it a little 5 to 10 minutes so that it can cool down, and this is the reason why I'm using my hands to lift the vessel out of the cooker. To check if your pudding is completely done or thoroughly cooked, you can just insert a knife and check if it comes out clean. If it is coming out clean, your pudding is well done. You can also run the knife on the sides of the pudding and see that it should come out easily. This pudding already smells like a cake which is steamed, but this tastes like a really soft pudding. Place it into your freezer for 10 minutes so that it cools down really fast and it's ready to serve on the right time. I have deshelled my eggs. You can see how easily they come off and they are perfectly cooked into my cooker. To make the student egg biryani, take a pan and add some oil to it. Add about teaspoon of haldi and a spoonful of red chili powder. Just give it a good mix and keep the low flame so that your masalas are not burnt. Keep stirring for a minute and then add in the boiled eggs. Now I'm adding 6 eggs, you can see, yes, but I've boiled 7 eggs. 1 egg was for my dog. You can decide upon the eggs of how many people are eating this biryani. Keep roasting the eggs in the oil. We want the outer shell of the eggs to be little tough so that they are firm when we are cooking them in the biryani. Once your eggs have a crispy layer outside, remove them off the heat and set them aside until next we need them. In the same pan, add a little more oil and then place all the chili, garlic, onion, tomatoes that we chopped into a blender. This is the most simplest biryani or pulao or whatever you call it can be made ever. This is called as student or bachelor biryani, and this was one of the recipes which I have learned from a Sydenham College hostel. Stir fry the raw ingredients that we have added to this pan. Do not worry, they all will be cooked at the same time. The tomatoes will start to release the water, so switch the flame high and keep sauteing it for 5 minutes until it becomes really dry. Until this is getting sauteed really well, let's check on our chicken tandoori. You can see that it was 10 minutes up and it's time to give it a little oil brush. So for this I'm going to use my new bottle that I got from Amazon. This is a glass bottle with a spray straw on top. You can spray the oil instead of brushing it. In fact, sometimes when you brush the oil, it's really more an excess. So I really love this little tool of mine. All you have to do is to spray the oil on top of the chicken and easily it's getting spreaded. Once you have your oil in place, just flip the chicken on the other side so that the other side is also grilled as the top part is grilled, and complete the 10 minutes that were remaining into a timer so that the chicken is evenly cooked and charred on both the side. You can see my chicken is charred on both the side with the black tandoor flavors that we need for our chicken. I'm going to load some mixed cheese, which is pepper jack, mozzarella and cheddar, on top of these chicken legs and then grill them again for 10 minutes. This little extra step that I've taken to add cheese has made this chicken really special for my kids. On the other hand, my tomatoes, onion, chili, garlic and ginger is nicely sauteed and has released all the liquids. So I'm going to add 1 or 1.5 tablespoons of biryani ready-made masala, a little bit of Kashmiri lal for that red authentic flavor, and it goes without saying to add haldi to this. Now these are the basic masalas, but if you have, you can go ahead and add some coriander powder, some ginger powder or garlic powder or extra chicken stock cubes. The world is your oyster. You can make this as spicy and tangy as you want it. So basically there are no rules in making this biryani. If your masalas are sticking at the bottom, add a little bit of water so that the masalas do not get burned. Keep adding water till it's nicely sauteed and the masalas release the oil from the sides. Do not add too much of water at this stage. We just need a little bit of water, that is about 2 to 3 tablespoons, so that the masalas are not sticking at the base. Once your masalas are really well done, you can add in the eggs and saute them a little bit more. You can also give slight cuts to your eggs so that the masalas penetrate inside. Stir in the eggs for about 2 minutes and let them also get married with the sauce that we have made. If you are still thinking that it's catching at the bottom, again add some water and stir fry the masala once again. When you notice that everything has come together, now it's time to layer it up with the rice. Now in this case, I'm using a leftover basmati rice which we did not eat at lunch, so I'm using the same rice here. Oh yes, before that, do add salt to taste. The salt is for the eggs and not for the rice. The rice already had salt, so I'm not adding it to the eggs as well. Add the salt accordingly. If your rice does not have salt, add the salt in the rice mixture, or you can also add it to the eggs and give it a good mix. Place your eggs in equal distance in the pan, so that when it's time to serve, you know where is the egg and you can serve that particular portion to a person. Now stack up the rice on top of these eggs. I'm using the leftover rice, as I said again. If you're using the fresh rice, you can obviously add some whole spices like cardamom, tej patta, that is the bay leaf, etc. etc. If you do not have, it's okay. The biryani masala that we have added combines everything. Up a good layer of rice on top. I have used all the leftover rice that I had. I could see my little eggs are little peeping out from the tiny little holes of the rice, but that's okay. If you wish to cover it, you can cover it with more rice, but I was out of rice, so I did not. Add a little bit of coriander on top, or pudina, or saffron milk, or whichever you have, or even just plain coriander will do. Keep it on steam for 15 minutes on the lowest flame possible. On the other hand, my cheesy tandoori tangdi kebab was ready, so I have pulled it out from my air fryer, and this is what it looks like. I know the cheese is oozing out and melted perfectly. Now this is the pro tip of using the foil. You can just lift the foil easily and you can see the base is so clean and neat, you do not have to brush it. Now comes to my the tandoori tangdi kebab. It's all done, charred well on the side, and cheese is melted. It's time to serve it. I'm going to serve it into my platter. This was a platter from Home Center which my mom gifted me for my birthday. You can scoop up those juicy juices that are left from the chicken behind into the foil and add it on top of the chicken legs. Also garnish it with some green coriander so that it gives the perfect look that we give it before we serve it. So here is serving my first simplest and easy recipe of cheesy tangdi kebabs, and trust me, they are so delicious, and the twist of adding cheese to this actually mellows down the spices but also makes it more cheesy and lovely and delicious to eat. I hope you give it a try. These tangdi kebabs can also be made excluding cheese, so it's all upon your choice. After 15 minutes, it was time to serve the student biryani. So I've lifted the cover and see how steam has passed through the rice and made it so delicious. You can see, even if it was a leftover cooker rice, it has turned out to be really looking like a biryani. And the most amazing part is, it also does taste a lot like biryani. Yes, not the authentic versions that we get in the restaurants, but yes, this is something that is really nice to eat when you really do not have time to cook or spend a lot of money on buying chicken or masalas or any of these things. I know I'm gonna get a lot of comments saying this is not biryani, this is a pulao. So it's okay. I mean, we call it as student biryani or bachelor's biryani, and they will love it because they have made it on their own and it's extremely simple to cook. I hope you enjoyed this. So let's move on to the last dish that we had made, which was the pudding. My pudding is completely cooled down and out of the the freezer, and this is what it looks like. It is taken a really good firm shape now. Slide a knife onto the corners so that it's easily coming off when we cut. Slice a triangular shaped piece to just make it look good, and place it on your serving platter. In my case, we love this pudding with a little bit of caramel on top. You can also make some honey, or you can also add some chocolate syrup. The world is your oyster, but we love this Hershey's caramel syrup on top of this little pudding, and it tastes divine. It is extremely soft, but it tastes like a soft vanilla cake. This pudding would even taste better if you add a little bit of a cardamom. The cardamom is the traditional way of eating this Parsi pudding. This is the most simplest dessert anyone can make. Even the bachelors or the students can make this. My all recipes today that I have cooked for my dinner are made in rush, and I really had less time and less ingredients to make them. And these were all my inspired recipes from the bachelor days of my life. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give this a thumbs up if you liked it. Do subscribe if you haven't. This is Ritika, your Bakasun Mama, signing off. See you soon with another one.